The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN to get a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. 15% off everything when you use the promo code playoffs. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Yeah, let's play the drop today. Let's get the drop going. That's what Josh Giddey sounded like last night after he had a double-double in the house that Karl Malone built.
It looked like a triple-double for a bit, though, didn't it?
Hey, he was gonna get it. He was gonna get the triple-double. I think he slowed down. He was like, all right, I'm wilding a little bit too much now. He was going for the triple-double. And he felt inspired in that building. He did. That's the only way you could stop the Jazz. Josh Giddey, by getting the reincarnation of Karl Malone in his spirit, freaking. We'll leave that topic alone. But okay, the Thunder get it done against the Jazz and end the Jazz amazing win streak last night. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on? Whoa,
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing well. Had a pretty decent day yesterday. Ended up splitting the lock and dog picks. Won the lock, though. Had the over in the Thunder game. Never in doubt there. For the dog, ended up losing. Had quickly assists over 6.5. And unfortunately, RJ Barrett stole a lot of those assists. So, yeah, it didn't work out there, but cashed the lock, so it is what it is. Besides that, though, trying to think of any main topics to talk about from yesterday, because I know we got a lot of... Actually, we don't have that many games today. I think we got 7. Yeah, the painful no cover by the Grizzlies yesterday. That was rough. They covered for about, 58 minutes in that game and then failed at the end. Besides that, the Kings, there needs to be a conversation about because this team has been falling apart recently. Halliburton's not playing. Siakam's not playing. And you basically lose wire to wire at home. Not exactly ideal for the Kings. Yeah, I'll start there. The Kings got problems.
Kings, yeah, I was already down. And I was leaving the door open for me to buy back into that Kings team. I really don't think I am. I really don't think I am. But I mean, I had the Pacers last night, and it was pretty much fate in the Kings.
I wasn't laying 7.5 with the Kings. I'm just saying, they trailed the entire game.
Sabonis gives you a triple double. TJ McConnell's the starting point guard for this team.
20 points.
20 and 10. Yeah, 20 and 10. Not just it was 20 and 10.
10 assists isn't that surprising. The 20 points is kind of wild, but still, you figure after the choke job against the Suns, maybe you'll get up for this type of game. You don't even get up for this game. Like, come on, Sacramento. Come on. I think you got to be better than that. But I did want to give a shout out in that game to one player in particular. I know Kevin Huerter had 30-plus points, so shout out to him for actually having a good game. But I said I was going to like a bunch of overs in that game, except for one guy. Do you want to guess the one guy I like the unders with?
Harrison Barnes.
That is correct. Do you know what his stat line was yesterday?
Don't
look it
up. It wasn't a Tony Snell stat line, so it wasn't the 0-0-0-0, but it was like about as close as you could get.
He had 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist in basically 20 minutes of play. So shout out to Harrison Barnes for reaffirming all of my, biased bets against him. Just not a very good basketball player. It is what it is. They should probably get rid of him. But either way, point is Barnes is a serious flaw with this lineup. Huerter did his part yesterday, so no real, I'd say, issues with him for one game at least. But damn, Barnes is just disinterested. I don't know what he's doing on this team. I get the argument of veteran leadership. At some point, you got to do something. 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and the game gets into the 240s. Come on, man. You got to do better. You got to do more than that.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I mean, I'm over the Kings. I'm over the Kings. I think I'm legit out on the Kings, and it has to be like the bottom feeders of the league for me to take the Kings at this point. Anybody that's middle of the pack, or even definitely not against anybody that's a playoff team on either side. I just can't see myself taking the Kings over them again.
I feel like the issue with the Kings, though, is that I was low on them for a while because I watched them a couple months ago, and I just didn't think they had enough offense to actually get past a potentially bad game by Fox or Monk. I just don't like the scoring options on that team, besides the main, guys who can create off the dribble, Fox and Monk and Sabonis in there. But I thought they might need one trade. They might need like three. Like, they're definitely not close to much. And I know Halliburton didn't play yesterday. I know the Kings made the playoffs last year. Is it time we can start saying that the Pacers won the trade? Like, can we just say it? Like, it's fine. Like, we can admit the Pacers won the Sabonis trade, as far as I'm concerned. What's the Kings? I think you can. I know the Pacers haven't made the playoffs yet. I get it. They started off at a worse spot in terms of starting point. But what, your main argument?
I think this is when you do your thing where you get a bad result from one side and then you completely just go over to the other side. Like, they both got really good player. They both are about to have a playoff run under their belt.
The Kings are about to have
Why
a
is
playoff
one
run under their belt?
They had one last year. They were the second seed. How do you lose a trade? How do you lose a trade and you make the second seed and you make the playoffs for the first time?
My point is they traded potentially.
They were literally
there was history
in the streets.
I get it.
Parade in the streets because they made the playoffs. Like, they didn't lose the trade. No, they didn't lose the trade. Everybody got what they wanted. Everybody got what they wanted.
Because I get the argument that they made history by breaking the streak and they made the playoffs again. Your legacy with Sabonis is losing a home game 7 by 30. Yeah, good luck with that. Like that's crazy.
Gosh. All right.
You lost at home by 30. I mean, come on.
Scott.
Like, no. I think the Pacers won that trade. You can argue that nobody really, really lost, but I think the Pacers were bigger winners than the Kings were in that trade, as far as I'm concerned.
All right. That is your opinion. That is your opinion. All right. Let's talk about the games that are actually being played today. The Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Orlando Magic. Orlando lays -5. 223 is the total. That's actually dropped a half a point. Injury report for the 76ers. We have Daniel House not on the injury report. Jayden Springer is questionable. Robert Covington out. D'Anthony Melton is out. And Mo Bamba's out. For the Orlando Magic, Franz Wagner, Gary Harris, both out. Looks like Markelle Fultz is going to play and potentially start. Line is 5, +5 for Orlando at home. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think for this one, I'm going to take the points. I know Philly's been great with Embiid in the lineup. We know how good his numbers are, but Orlando's feisty, and I do think that Orlando getting 5.5 feels a little bit disrespectful. I know, once again, Philly can get a bunch of big numbers from Embiid. I get it. Philly's a very good home team. On the road, they're fine too, but Orlando's been nice at home all season long. I'm going to lean to Orlando plus the points. I was not a fan of Orlando losing to Atlanta, but at least they covered. So there's that.
I mean, when Joel Embiid plays, there's always the fear that he doesn't play the fourth quarter because he doesn't need to.
Yeah. Occasionally he'll check in for garbage time, but he actually has sat out a lot of fourth quarters where he could have padded his stats and got 50. Recently he padded his numbers again.
But it's like
but
you only sit out the fourth quarter because you're so good that the other team is not even in the game.
I'm saying Embiid's more dominant than his numbers even suggest because he has not been playing the fourth quarter a lot to pad his stats.
I know.
His numbers are actually crazy.
I know. So it's like, with somebody like that, where is the trade-off in Orlando in the scoring department? Is Paolo Banchero going to have that crazy of a game to keep them in it? Like, if Embiid gives you 30 in 3 quarters, is this game close still?
You can argue Orlando maybe hangs in there, or maybe they dominate the bench minute units, but I get your point. I guess what I'm asking is if Embiid has a big game, let's say Embiid gives you 35 by the end of the game, not in 3 quarters. And you do
then I think they're in the game. If it's 35 by the end of the game, I think they're in the game. But if it's 35 and 3 quarters, the game might be over.
I guess what I'm saying, though, is if you can do a decent job shutting down Maxey, and you do a decent job on like Tobias Harris, or maybe just Maxey, you're not really worried about Harris, do you think Philly is going to be able to win by margin on the road, basically relying on one guy to do all the scoring? That's kind of what I'm asking.
No, I don't think they cover by margin if Embiid is the only one doing the scoring.
I'm going to put faith in Orlando's backcourt to do a good job on Maxey, and I think they'll hang in there. But Embiid could always go for 40, though. You know, they got Batadze and Wendell Carter. Like, I get it. You know, it's a good matchup for Embiid. I'm just gonna make.
That's what it have to be. That's what it have to be. It had to be the defense.
Plus, do you really want to be laying 5.5 this early in the day when you never know if Embiid's going to play or not? Like, Embiid's always a worry to potentially sit. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer because you're kind of just assuming they're going to play. But, I mean, Embiid, as far as I know, should be playing in this game. He had 41 last game. So, I see people in the chat mentioning it. I'm assuming Embiid's going to play. He had 47 and 10 last game. Like, I'm assuming he's fine. So, with that being the case, I'll lean to Orlando at home. But if you want to take Philly, I'd understand. You seem like you're on
yeah, and it's really the Tyrese Maxey thing, because I think that the matchup between Jalen Suggs and Tyrese Maxey is going to be one to watch for in this game, and see, like, hey, does he get that additional level scoring? If he gets Maxey, and if Maxey and Embiid are both able to go off, I don't think this is close. I really don't. But I do trust Jalen Suggs and this Orlando defense. Orlando over the past 5 games, giving up the third least points per game over the past 5 games. They're playing really good on the perimeter, and these totals are low. Like, these totals are low for the other team. Last 5 games, you got the 106 to the Hawks in a loss, the 94 to the Knicks. You got the 112 to OKC actually looks really, really good. And then you have the 99 piece to Miami. Like, they're losing. I
get your point, though. Offensively, they've not been good lately. I get your point.
Yeah, but defensively, they're in the game. Like, they're 1-4 during this stretch, and then 3 of these games are 1 possession, 2 possession games. So it's like they're in the game, and the defense is keeping them in it. But they got smacked by. They didn't cover this line against Minnesota. They didn't cover this line against OKC. I'm not going to assume they cover this line against the 76ers, even though I think the defense is going to be good. I'm taking the 76ers -5. But my favorite play is the under. My favorite play is the under. That's the play that we play in this game. The total is at 223. You look at the pace for these two teams, and you already know Philly is fine with running slow. They're 21st in the past 5 games in terms of pace. Orlando dead last in the last 5 games in terms of pace. I talked about their defense stats. We know Philly is pretty solid defensively. And I mean, really the only worry is Joel Embiid and potentially Tyrese Maxey being able to drive the total up. But I think that they'll do a good job on everybody else and keep the overall team total down. So yeah, 223 feels like pretty much a give. I'm taking the under here.
Yeah, that I agree with. That's my favorite play in this game.
Yeah, I like that way better than either side. All right, player props.
I'm assuming you're on Embiid overs, because how the hell is Orlando going to guard him?
I don't know how they're going to guard him. I really don't.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, he probably is going to get his, and that just brings the attention to everybody else. So maybe this is a 50-piece game. Like, if this is close and this isn't a blowout, maybe this is a 50-piece game. He has a 50 against Orlando before, by the way.
Yeah.
And like, if Orlando holds everybody else and keeps this game close and Embiid has to play the 4th quarter, then this may be a game that I'd be interested in potentially buying Joel Embiid points up, because really, like, Batadze, Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner, like, how are they going to slow him down?
I'm a little bit confused why Embiid's assists are so high at 5.5. I get one of the arguments could be, well, he had 10 last game, and you might expect him to get his teammates involved if Orlando traps or doubles. They really don't, or at least they haven't in the last couple head-to-head meetings. I mean, the meeting earlier this season, he had 3. Last year, he had 5. I just feel like 5.5, and it's juice 2 to the over. It's at -125. The under is plus money. 5.5 assists? Like, if you're expecting Embiid to score 40, which is pretty realistic, then how many assists do you think he's getting if he's going to score 40-plus points? I know he had a monster game against Denver. I get it. I just feel like this number's inflated because of that Denver game. And Orlando is allowing the fewest assists per game. 5.5? It's a lot of assists for a center. For a guy that gets to the line a lot, like, that's a lot of assists. I'm going to take Embiid under for the 5.5 assists.
And I think he's doing all the scoring. So
yeah,
like,
but that number
I don't think he's going to pass, because Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Let's see here before we get to the next game of the slate. Got to talk to you about DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. And we're bringing you an offer that helps electrify the playoffs. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Any game, doesn't matter. Chiefs, Bills, sure. Texans, Ravens, okay. Packers, 49ers, why not? It's somebody else. I don't care. Because you can bet on anybody, everybody, doesn't matter. $5 gets you 200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook, code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. All right, next game on the slate. San Antonio Spurs on the road, going back to play the Charlotte Hornets. We saw this recently. It wasn't too long ago. San Antonio handled the Hornets on the road. Now they are on the road this time around. Line is, what is this line? Charlotte -4.5. 235.5 is the total. Injury report here, and for the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama is out. He will rest the front end of the back-to-back this time, and so that he can play tomorrow in Washington.
Wait, so just to be sure, you said that Wemby's not playing, right?
Yes, Wemby's not playing this one, so instead of sitting...
Yeah, just making sure. Okay, cool.
I mean, it was a toilet bowl even if he was playing. I don't know why that.
Yeah, but at least with Wemby, you can make an argument like he's kind of must-watch TV every night because his numbers over the past week or two has been crazy. Like, why would you even bother?
Devin Vassell's numbers were crazy with this team, and they still were toilet bowl. No,
That's
just
fair.
because
Okay,
you,
I forgot. Yeah,
just because you are
okay.
a number one overall pick, this team is still 7-33. It is a toilet bowl. Zach Collins questionable with the ankle injury. He could be replacing Wemby in that starting lineup. And for the Charlotte Hornets, we have Brandon Miller questionable, Nick Richards questionable, Bryce McGowan's questionable, Gordon Hayward and Mark Williams not playing in this game because they are on IR. Here we go.
Spurs killed this team by about 40 a week and a half ago, except Wemby was insane in that game, and now Charlotte doesn't have to worry about him. It's a toilet bowl, so I'm guessing you're blindly taking the points.
I mean, it didn't have to be a toilet bowl. Why would I lay points with Charlotte?
No, in general, yeah. Well, the fact that Charlotte's even laying points means it's automatically a toilet bowl. Because why would they ever be laying points?
Yeah, but there's no point in me laying points with them. I've already said I think that San Antonio, when we ranked those teams, I thought San Antonio was above Charlotte, and then they beat them by 40. I still think San Antonio is above Charlotte, even if Wemby doesn't play. I have my guys, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. I'm gonna trust San Antonio. San Antonio gets it done, +4.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. Simply put, I don't trust Charlotte enough to ever lay with that team. LaMelo came back. Congrats. You're still getting killed by double digits every game. So, it is what it is. I do think that San Antonio has enough, I don't know if talent's the right word, but I think they have enough toughness to hang in there because they've been kind of sneaky recently in the fourth quarter of games. They made Atlanta work for it a bit more than we thought. They almost covered in the back door against Boston last game. I don't mind San Antonio's intensity recently, where Charlotte is just kind of aloof. That's how the word I'd use to describe this team. I'm going to link to San Antonio plus the 4.5. There's no way I'm laying 2 possessions with Charlotte. That's just not happening.
San Antonio 6-4 in ATS in their last 10 games, including the last 2, basically, almost backdoor covers for San Antonio against Boston and Atlanta. 6-4 in their last 10 ATS. Yeah, I'm rolling with San Antonio here. I'm not fooling with Charlotte. Total sitting there at 235.5. And climbing.
The climbing part's weird because San Antonio did score 135, but I guess the argument is Charlotte's going to score more than that, and it might balance out. But there's no way San Antonio scoring 135 if Wemby's not playing. So, I don't think they are. I don't think they're talented enough, but who knows? I mean, if Vassell and Keldon, maybe if they combine for like 50 or 60, then you got a shot at it, but I don't see that happening.
Is that not reasonable here against Charlotte?
It's possible. I don't see it happening personally. I'm going to lean to the under in this game. It just feels high. You can make an argument that maybe Charlotte will give up a bunch of points because they gave up 132 to New Orleans. New Orleans, unlike these two teams, are actually good at basketball. But the point is, the Hornets in the last couple games before that, 87 against the Heat, 99 against the Spurs, 98 against the Kings. The team can't consistently score. And even the Spurs in the last two games scored 98 against Boston. Okay, Boston's a good defensive team. You scored 99 against the Hawks. Really? Like, I have issues with both offenses. I'm going to lean under, and this total's a bit high.
I lean under, but for different reasons.
Okay.
San Antonio's actually been pretty solid defensively over the past few games. Like you said, they're playing better. They are, and they're actually playing better on all sides of the ball. Last 5 games, San Antonio's giving up 111 points per game. Look at who they played and what they gave up during that span. 117 in Boston. Okay, that's actually pretty solid. 109 to the Hawks. You have that 122 to the Bulls. That's really the outlier there. And then you got the 99 to Charlotte and the 108 to Detroit, which is more comparable because they're playing Charlotte and this team sucks, and those two, and Charlotte and Detroit suck. So I think that they could actually get up a little bit more defensively here. I guess the Wemby thing being out is a little bit less rim protection, could lead to more scoring for Charlotte. Just give me San Antonio team total over. Charlotte sucks defensively. San Antonio put up 135 on this team a week ago. They'll be able to score again. Is it going to be 135 again? Maybe not, but it's going to be close.
I think this game probably finishes somewhere in the high 220s. Like, I don't think it's going. I think it's going to go way under, but I do think this number feels a bit steep.
All right. Let's see. Before we get into the next game, let's got to talk to you about Cut, the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. You can bet against your friends on sports, politics, pop culture, anything with a verifiable outcome. If you wanted to go and bet on what was that award show that just happened? There was an award show that just happened. Was it? It wasn't Emmys. Yes, you could have bet on the Emmys. You could have bet on the Emmys. That you could have did that with Cut. Cut offers low vig, fully customizable odds. You can do all of that. If you go and you check our Sports Gambling Podcast group, then you'll see that Ryan, Real Money Kramer, is actually offering you all plus 10 on the Texans. He said, I don't care about the hook. I'll give you the hook, and I'll make the odds, and I'll give you plus 10 on the Texans today because he believes in Baltimore that much. You can do that. You can do that with your friends. So hop in there. Go challenge Real Money Kramer. Go challenge any of us. Let's do it. So reminder, Cut is the peer-to-peer social betting platform for U.S.-based, 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You said what?
No, my bad. Sorry. My bad.
No. Yeah, Underdog Fantasy. Pick'em Scorchers, favorite fantasy players, stats, money, of course. NFL, NBA, NHL, college football, college basketball. You can do all of that on Underdog Fantasy. I'm tapping into the college basketball realm a little bit more because these stars be cooking every night. Like, why not? Why not take points over in college basketball? I love it. So watch along, make your picks, and make a little cash along the way. When you sign up, use promo code SGPN. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All right, Scott. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know what the award show actually was. I think it was the Emmys, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Emmys. I think it was something like that.
You know,
it was TV. Whichever one is TV.
Yeah. Every time there's an award show, there's two things that I notice. One is that award shows are a monumental waste of time. And two is that I don't watch anything. Everything that's nominated, I just haven't seen. I don't know if you're the same way, but I just haven't seen.
You didn't see Abbott Elementary?
No, never heard of it.
What?
No.
Abbott Elementary is hilarious. It's like The Office.
I live under a rock. I don't really know much about it. I've been watching The Sopranos, so I'm watching stuff that was very good. Like
you're watching old stuff.
And
you're not even.
You're I'm just saying, you put the new shows up against The Wire and The Sopranos, and we'll see what happens. But I'll take the old shows, you know.
Yeah, I hate old people like you. The Wire. Now, granted, I did watch The Wire about a year ago now, and it is probably one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. But I don't have to live in that. I can enjoy the shows of today. I can do.
Oh no, that's not the point. The point is I'm so far behind on like the old classics that I'm watching those first before I get to the new stuff.
Wait, so you just now watching The Sopranos?
Yeah. I watched The Wire when I was in college. I actually have never watched The Sopranos. I'm on the final season, so I'm almost done with it.
Oh, well, wait, have I seen The Sopranos? Which one is The Sopranos?
The Mafia one?
Yeah, I seen that. My
Okay.
dad used to watch that. Yeah. Marlo, Avon Barksdale. Yep. Hey, man, when I started The Wire, I was like, look at all these people. All these people are in this show. Michael B. Jordan got done dirty though, low key, just a little
he was
bit.
barely in the
He just
show.
wanted to get out. He wanted out the life, man. He wanted out the life. All
Isn't
right.
that the whole story though about it? You can never get out. Isn't that the point? Or there's one way out, and it's just it's not the way you
Yeah,
want.
man.
Kind of how it
Yeah,
goes.
man. It was so many people that wanted out, and they just could not get out.
But for award shows, like the nominees are, and it's like I've just never heard of any of these shows. Like I don't know what you want from me.
Man,
But
that's crazy. It's the movies. The movies are the one that does it for me. I never. What's just the movie one? Is that that's the Oscars? I think that's
yeah,
the
Oscars
Oscars.
is the movie one.
Yeah, I
haven't seen any of those too.
Like, what was that movie? Oppenheimer, whatever. I heard that
Oppenheimer,
wrapped up.
I didn't see it. That's about the atom bomb. But
Yeah, why do I
like
want to
3
go watch
hours
the atom
long.
bomb? Why do I
I heard
want to
there's
watch a movie about
I
the
heard
atom
there's
bomb?
it's 3 hours. There's a random sex scene in the middle. I've heard things about the movie. I just haven't seen it. I'm just being honest. That came out and Barbie came out at the same time, so people were doing the Barbenheimer thing. That's really the only reason why I know about it. But I didn't see
Barbie either. All right, Denver Nuggets on the road going to play the Boston Celtics. Denver's catching 7. 234 is the total here. Injury report, and we have for the Denver Nuggets, Aaron Gordon's probable. Julian Strawher and Kankar are both on IR as they've been. And for the Celtics, it looks like Porzingis and Derek White are both not on the injury report, so the Celtics should be at full strength today. 20-0 for Boston, or is it 21-0?
It's 20.
20-0. 20-0 at home for Boston. 13-7 against spread. Actually, not bad. They're starting to pick these things up, ATS, as the year goes on. These Boston Celtics, 3 ATS wins in a row. Scott, what are you doing here? 7 with the Denver Nuggets.
I took Boston overnight at 5.5, so I'm not surprised the line ended up moving. I did. I decided earlier in the week I faded Denver on the road, and I'm just convinced this team is overvalued on the road. They're not a good road team. They're 7-14 ATS. So I understand why people might be looking at Denver with Jokic and the defending champions, thinking it's disrespectful. But I just don't really understand why so many people have I guess I understand, but I've just acknowledged that Denver's not a good road team, and I don't want to back them. If you're failing to cover 66% of the time on the road, I'm not going to keep donating money to your cause. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's the reason why we faded Atlanta every time they play, because they don't cover any spreads. Boston is 13-7 ATS at home. So they're not as good ATS as they are straight up, obviously, but still very solid. It was most of the injury report for me. The fact that White and Porzingis both did not play the last game. They were both going to play in this game. So Porzingis is back. White is back. The team's fully healthy, which is important to me. I know Gordon was dealing with a bit of a heel issue, but I think he's going to play in this game. It was mostly just fading Denver on the road. It might just be, rolling it back or running it back because I won against Denver earlier this week on the road. But I watched them a couple of times look underwhelming in opposing arenas. I think Boston gets up for it. Boston has also dominated the head-to-head. I believe they've won 6 of the last 7 meetings by at least 6 points. So Boston has done well against this team. And I do think that Boston at home is definitely the solid spot to bet them, usually. At least when they're not against bottom feeders where they can potentially, have a letdown moment, like against the Pistons. I'm going to lean to Boston here. It's just a spot where I think Denver on the road is not a side I really enjoy backing. I feel better at the 5.5, but I'm going to lean to Boston anyway.
Well, there's multiple things to consider. The first thing to consider is the fact that I've done pretty well for myself, just not taking Boston in any situation.
Yeah,
and just saving myself the heartbreak. Save myself the heartbreak of, Boston letting me down in a spot. Because this would be the spot where in the past, I would say, wow, Boston's been playing really, really well this year. They're 20-0 at home, 13-7 ATS. They're going to get this done. And I used to forget my whole little beef with the Boston Celtics, and I would bet them, and then they would lose. So Denver, +7.
That was against
come on.
bad teams, though. I thought we just had that with the Bucks.
It was It was mostly bad teams. I will give
They
you that.
lost by
It was
33 to
definitely
the
mostly
Bucks. I
bad
thought we
teams.
just had this moment. Don't we have to wait another like 2 weeks before there's another moment?
I don't know, man.
They pulled
I
the
don't
starters
know.
at the half against Milwaukee. I thought we just did this like a week
I don't
ago.
know, man. It be sometimes they get you, man. It be sometimes they get you. I be trying to change my stance sometimes, but then there's that game, and I'm like, that's why right there. Nah, yo, I just don't bet them. So
Maybe Boston
7+7.
screws me, but I'm happy I got 5.5 overnight. Let's put it
I'll
that
take
way.
the closing line value,
Okay.
and I'll wait because it's probably. I mean, it could still go up. I don't see why anybody's not betting Boston. This Denver team sucks on the road. Like, let's be honest. 7 and
And Gordon
14
might not
ATS
play.
on the road.
So.
7 and 4. Well, he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
Yeah, maybe.
But 7 and 14. That's horrible. That's horrible. I would fade Denver in any other situation except this team. Literally any other situation, I would fade them at this spot except this team. So Denver +7, but the total's at 234. And I think the thing that matters a lot in how Denver is going to make this close and how this total actually is really interesting at 234 is because you start your centers against the Celtics and Jokic is going to have a game. He's going to have a game. If they're in this game for majority of the game and we're looking in the fourth quarter and it's probably going to take a Boston run to get the cover, it's because Jokic probably has 30, 15, and almost 10.
So my question for you, though, since you definitely like Jokic overs, I do too. Does that mean you're leaning to the over in the game, or you think that Boston kind of lets Jokic do his thing and they stop everybody else? That's kind of been the pivot. We saw Philly do that in the last game where they let Jokic take a lot of shots, they stopped everybody else, and they won the game.
But you trust Joe Mazzulla to do that? Joe Mazzulla kind of, I don't know. He just feels like he can craft up a game plan to stop anybody, and it doesn't.
I don't know if it's a matter of Joe Mazzulla. It might just be a matter of I trust Holiday to do a pretty good job on Jamal Murray. And Derek White, if they want to throw looks at
Oh, no. I feel like Holiday been a little underwhelming for me this year.
Oh, he has. But I'm saying him and White together, they can alternate, and they could also throw Jaylen Brown out there. They got a couple options, different looks to throw at Jamal. I do agree with you, though. Drew's not the same defender he used to be. But he's still an above-average defender, obviously.
He has
a lot of other good options.
That's just slightly underwhelming. Not saying he's bad, but just slightly underwhelming. I expected more. I'm not going to lie. I expected a little bit more. Because I think Jimmy Butler took his soul.
I think Jimmy Butler took his soul in the playoffs last year, so I did not expect more when he went to Boston. But.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go over. If there was anything Boston I would back, it'd probably be a Boston team total over.
Yeah. Boston's been so good offensively at home, but defensively, they've been solid. And I am concerned that Denver might struggle offensively unless Jokic has a monster game, which is possible. But I do think I think they could shut down Murray. I think they could give a hard time to Michael Porter Jr. as well. So I'm just asking in general. I know Jokic makes a lot out of nothing. How many scoring options do you think Denver actually has?
Let's see. Jamal Murray.
Because I hate
Michael
their bench.
Jr. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr.
I mean, Gordon is a rim runner off ball.
Yeah. And it helps.
Yeah.
And then, they got the shooting on the outside. We'll see how they do with the perimeter, but you still got some outside shooting.
They got Caldwell Pope, and you got a couple
guys.
Yeah, like
it's really. I don't like the bench unit either, and that was the thing that we said earlier in the season that what is this bench unit going to look like, and then they're actually getting depleted by injuries on that bench. So, I think they could keep up in a really good situation. It just it's up and down. Really, honestly, I'm just going to ladder Jokic points up.
I agree with you on the Jokic points. I just think that this total can go either way.
Yeah. Anything that I would want to put on the side of Denver to fade the Celtics, I'm just going to put on Jokic and just say Jokic has a monster game in a win or loss, whatever it is.
Well, I'm going to ask, though, how high do you go?
I'll tell you right now. When looking on DraftKings Sportsbook, make sure you use that code SGP. Bet $5 on any game. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All right. We have here Nikola Jokic, 35 plus 390.
Okay.
On DraftKings. I'll take it.
By the way, I was looking at the head-to-head meetings. Do you know how many meetings in a row have gone under this total between these two teams?
How many?
11.
Really?
11 straight unders for this number. The last two meetings were close. I think the last one landed 234 on the dot.
Oh, well,
it's 11 straight that have gone under.
I can't take an over like that. Or maybe we can because it's 11 straight and the overs due.
It's also a TV game, so you might get more fouls. Referees have families; they want to see them on TV. I've noticed a lot of overs with primetime TVs, man. A lot of overs. I don't know if you've noticed that too. There's been a lot of overs on live TV and like national TV.
Hey, he said the refs have families and they want to see them on TV too,
Yeah.
so they call more fouls.
I'm just saying. I see a lot of foul calls on national TV games.
Yo.
I haven't done the experiment behind it, but I noticed it last year. Live TV games tend to have national TV games tend to have like a lot of overs.
Daddy,
Might be selective recall, but I've noticed.
am I going to see you on TV tonight? Yeah, I'll make sure of it.
They had to fire the one. I'm sure the one Boston fan who was the ref ended up getting fired. I'm sure his family was watching you doing the games.
I've never heard that angle before. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Refs have families too. Can we get that on a shirt? Refs have families too, people.
It's right next to the refs are terrorist shirt. You can get
Jake,
the refs have families too. You know,
Jake, I know you're listening at some point, Jake. I need a refs or family shirt, and I need a Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz are inevitable.
Do you think the ref families are cheering when they announce the video review process? They overturn a call and they get to keep the timeout, and the families just cheering.
They're recording the screen. They're recording the screen.
Recording the screen, yeah.
Look at my dad. Missed this call right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, win bigger by betting smarter in the NFL, in the NBA, and soccer with historical stats and data with Hall of Fame bets. Enter any parlay idea in a Hall of Fame bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool and get your parlay broken down by leg. It gives you hit rate, expected probability, everything you need. Stop betting in the dark. Join the over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets. You can craft more data and intelligent-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOLBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. SGPN merch store. We're going to have to get those shirts made because we need to win this contest. We're trying to beat out the other shows, man. Need y'all support. 15% off everything just for the contest. 15% off everything till the end of the month. Make sure you use that promo code playoffs. Store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code playoffs for 15% off the merch store. And make sure you buy some NBA Gambling Podcast gear and help us get the win. We can beat the college experience. College experience actually isn't in first place right now, if you believe it or not. They're actually not. It's actually
it's old-fashioned, right?
Old-fashioned, yeah. Old-fashioned football podcast. Which is crazy. But they have a loyal fan base, a very, very loyal fan base, and they're buying a whole bunch of gear. So we need you guys to help show us up. All right. Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Miami Heat. Miami Heat is laying 6. God damn it. Wait, what? No way you're making me do this.
Against each other.
No way you're making me do this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, man, I'm about to get up and walk off. I did not realize this.
Yeah,
oh, fuck. I don't even want to. Can I skip?
Just
I
pick
don't
the
even
total.
want to do this.
Just pick the total and move on. We'll lean to the over and we'll just move to the next game.
The Miami Heat are playing the Atlanta Hawks at home. The Miami Heat are laying 6. Open up at 5.5. It's now minus 6.5. 225.5 is the total here. Injury report for the Atlanta Hawks, and Trae Young is questionable with an illness.
Apparently, he just got ruled out, actually. So
did he?
Trae will not be playing. According
to he did just get ruled out literally a minute ago. Yep.
So the line's going to move, so I have to pretty much wait. But the 6.5 is probably a fake line because of the
dang. I kind of actually wanted. Maybe we should wait and give this a minute for the line to. I mean, well, no, whatever. We'll talk about it now. That way, anybody that's watching can jump in if they can. But I really think this line.
DraftKings has 8, so we're going to stick.
Okay, so it just moved to 8 on DraftKings. All right.
Yeah.
So minus 8. That's what we'll handicap. You know, front of the program, DraftKings Sportsbook code SGP. So 226 is the total on DraftKings, minus 285 on the money line, plus 230 for the Atlanta Hawks on the money line. Trae Young's out, Wesley Matthews is out, DeAndre Hunter's out, and for the Miami Heat, you have Jaime Jaquez Jr., doubtful, Kevin Love's questionable. That's about it on that side. Laying 8 with the Miami Heat at home.
We're taking the Hawks, right? Trae out. Perfect getup.
Yeah. So like that made it. So that really just made it easy. If Trae was playing, it would have really made it hard, and I wouldn't have known what to do. I'm sorry, but now that Trae's out, the narrative is that with one of Trae or DeJounte out, that this team looks way better, and that these two can't play together. That's the narrative. And we have to say
DeJounte's
that.
also off a buzzer beater game winner where he just completely did not look at Trae Young and then dribbled into a game winner. So DeJounte might be in line for a heat check game. Just saying.
That's why he what's the name? That's why they ruled Trae Young out. They were like, all right,
they want to see something.
Trying to trade the wrong guy. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
something. Maybe we're trying to trade the wrong guy here. Yeah, this is the perfect angle. All right. It made it so much easier now that Trae Young's ruled out. By the way, no way I'm laying 8 with Miami at home in any situation. Yeah, give me the Hawks +8.
You can argue Miami gets up after getting curb stomped by Toronto. I'm not going to bother. I tried to lean in favor of Miami laying points, and they lost by 30 to Toronto. I'm good. I tried, gave it a shot, wasn't worth it. Lean to Atlanta plus the points. I feel like Atlanta's bad ATS because they've been laying a lot in these games, and they shouldn't be because they're bad. Getting 8, though, I am curious what Atlanta's point spread record is when they're getting this many points. I don't have that in front of me, but doesn't it feel like Atlanta fails the favorite more often than not?
Yeah, I feel like it.
I can pull that up, but
I'm gonna pull it up. But this total. So I said 226. It's down to 224.5.
Okay.
So that's the new total here on DraftKings Sportsbook, 224.5. Yeah.
How you lean into it? Do you think Atlanta plays slower without Trae? Do they play fast? I mean, defensively, they're going to be better without Trae because he's one of the worst defensive players in the league.
What if they look better on offense, though?
They might. But we know Miami defensively has not been great lately. So, I think I'll lean. I mean, the first meeting landed 226, second meeting landed 235, but Trae was in those. So, I think I'm going to lean under. Atlanta defensively has actually not been horrible lately. Gave up 104 to Orlando, gave up 99 to San Antonio. That's okay for their standards. Miami got killed by Toronto, but only scored 97. Scored 96 in overtime against the Nets. Scored 104 against Charlotte, but they only gave up 87. Scored 99 against Orlando, only gave up 96. Both teams defensively have been okay recently. I'm going to lean to the under in this game.
So Atlanta has not covered 2 games this year against Miami. Miami was a favorite. No, Atlanta was the favorite in one of those. They were laying 7.5 and they lost that outright. And then they were laying 7.5 and lost it outright. Okay. And then they lost as a 1-point dog to Miami. They're actually 1-3 this season when catching 6 or more. So 2 possessions, they're 1-3 ATS.
Okay. Atlanta as an underdog, by the way, on the road. As a road underdog, Atlanta is 4-9 ATS.
Yeah. It's not good. That's not good numbers.
Which means
Atlanta's it's Miami. It's Miami laying points. I'm not doing it.
For the record, by the way, Miami is a home favorite this year, is 8-7 ATS. So that is pretty random.
That's
if you were curious.
It's not good.
That doesn't feel right.
You're expected to win the game, and you didn't cover or lost 7 times, and you were expected to win.
It's also just at home. I can check Miami as an overall favorite this season.
It's not good. I can't do it. I can't do it. History. I'll trust history. This is historical for Atlanta. I'm just not going to bet this game. I'm not going to bet this game today. It's fine.
Atlanta as an overall dog, by the way, is 5-13 ATS.
Maybe a DeJounte triple double.
I like the assist for DeJounte. I'll stick with that.
Double and a win. Well, not a win, but +8, possibly. I might be intrigued there. I might be intrigued by the win. Miami could blow this. This is typical Miami fashion where it looks like they should absolutely steamroll and then they don't.
I see this being a 1-possession game late.
I might actually bet this. Okay. All right. Anything else player part-wise that you like before we move on?
No, it's mostly DeJounte. I do think, once again, I'm not taking Bam. I'm not going to bother. So I made a case. Nope, didn't happen last game. Hawkes being out, you assume Butler, but he's so passive all the time that I really don't want to take his props. Hero, I like Hero in the spot. He's done well against Atlanta in the past. Let me just quickly pull up Hero's numbers against Atlanta in the past, but I'm pretty sure they're very good. Let me just pull that up. Hero, sorry. So looking at Hero's games against Atlanta recently, he had 30 points in the last game. He had a triple-double, actually, back in 2022. So he has had a couple of big games, but 30 last game, I think he's in line for a good game here. I'll lean to the over on Hero. Maybe PRA for him.
All right. I'm just with DeJounte, honestly. DeJounte kind of sold me after that game winner. I'm not gonna lie. He kind of sold me after the game winner. And with Trey out, there's actually an angle where this team is weak. Hero's birthday is tomorrow. Do they play tomorrow?
I'm assuming they don't, but I'll check.
It's just-
Miami.
no, they don't play
There are a
tomorrow.
lot of games tomorrow. I didn't realize there were that many games. Yeah, Miami does not play tomorrow.
Jake, did you hear my merch store request? I was gonna text you, but now that you're here and you're listening, and I know you're here, hey, we need a Revs Have Families shirt.
Can the image just be like a kid pointing to a TV set and just a referee blowing a whistle? Like, can we get that going?
Yeah, can you put Scott Foster on the TV and somebody like
It's just a kid pointing to the ref, and it's like that's just his family. That's all I need.
So we need that, and then we need the Utah Jazz are inevitable shirts. I know those are long overdue, but what they're doing this season, 2 seasons in a row, we got to make the shirts now. So
I wouldn't even mind a Harrison Barnes undershirts. I'm a fan of that too. Just Harrison Barnes unders.
All right, appreciate.
Couple options.
Jake does everything. All right, let's keep moving. We got 3 more games, and then we're out of here. The Phoenix Suns on the road going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans open up -2.5. They are currently -1.5. 237 is the total. That's up from 234.5. Injury report for the Phoenix Suns, and Bobo is out. Yuta Watanabe is not on the injury report. No Damian Lee, and clean injury report for the Pelicans.
Are the Pelicans nice again?
Yeah,
kinda. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, they've been really, really good at home, man.
I know. They're
13-8 straight up ATS.
Really good in the Smoothie King Center. They really like smoothies.
I actually kind of like Smoothie King Center. It's very simplistic.
Never been there, but it looks like a good home environment.
I saw Braun play there for my birthday one year.
That's hype.
Yeah, they lost.
Who did? Pelicans or LeBron?
LeBron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, AD wasn't playing either. That's when AD. That's literally the last year AD was on the Pelicans. That's when I saw it, and he was sitting on the bench.
Oh, it was that long ago. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like LeBron on the Lakers. I didn't realize you meant that long ago.
No, it was LeBron on the Lakers. He was on the Lakers, but that's when the Lakers were absolutely horrible, like dog shit horrible.
Oh, that was before the LaMelo and Ingram trade. Okay.
Yep, and it was literally just LeBron. I think it might have been, but yeah, it was before the trade, all that. I don't even think Brandon Ingram was playing because I was talking about North Carolina.
So you had Kuzma and Lonzo and yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like, I'm like, dang. And they were hyped because they were beating LeBron too. And they were like, oh, AD staying.
Might have had Zubac on that team.
Nope.
Maybe.
No, did not. Oh man. Whatever. It was somewhere February, one of those years ago. Some years ago. Was that 2019? Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Back to this. My question here, you said, are the New Orleans Pelicans good? I was really gonna ask, are the Suns good now?
I was going to say,
or is it just because they
good? It was mostly are the Pelicans like back. Like, are they actually formidable, or is this just a good run? I just want to know if they're still the psycho team that I think they are.
Formidable is a very, very hard buzzword that I don't think I would use, but they're good. Okay. They're good.
So I'm on the same page as you. I have to see them prolong this a bit more, but I do really like what I've seen for the last basically month. The Suns had a miracle comeback win against the Kings, but I'm still not sold on the team.
Thinking about that, being down to the Kings that much is actually... I'm taking the Pelicans.
They're down 22 at home with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm taking
New Orleans anyway. Like, I think New Orleans is actually a solid team.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah, I'll lean to New Orleans as well. The Suns are a team that I really don't like the bench with. I think that's an area where the Pelicans can thrive in because I think their bench unit's pretty good. How can I take the Suns? Bull's not playing. Come on. How am I supposed to take the Suns in this game? Now, I like the Pelicans anyway at home. It's a pretty short number. I feel like with the Suns even winning games recently, the markets are starting to overreact again to how good this team actually is. I think New Orleans might be underrated. So I like New Orleans in the spot.
Yeah. New Orleans been shooting the hell out of basketball recently.
Mm-hmm. And defensively, they're good.
Yeah. They're 51% over the past 5 games from the field. They're shooting 44% from 3. 44% from 3 over the past 5 games, 51% from the field, scoring 124.8 points per game. That's good for third best in the NBA during that span. And the defense has been really, really solid. Whereas this Phoenix team is still giving up 120 points per game over the past 5. Like in these situations, we talked about them being down all those points to Sacramento, which really, really looks bad when you think about it. Like looks really, really bad when you really think about it. And I'm good. I'm actually, I don't feel comfortable with Phoenix in this spot. I'll take New Orleans. New Orleans gets it done at home. It's 1.5. This is a close line, basically a pick 'em. I'll take New Orleans to get it done.
Yeah, I agree.
Totals at 237. I like New Orleans team total over.
That I
I'm
agree with.
behind on
The
that.
total's tricky because New Orleans is actually good defensively. So
Yeah, like what if they shut down the Suns and the Suns just honestly, how did the Suns concede defeat after coming back 20 points down in the fourth quarter last game?
They probably won't.
So then give me the over 237.
I think
like even if New Orleans comes in here, looks really good and beats the shit out of them, they're not going to concede defeat because they just came back from 20 points down in the fourth quarter. So you're at least going to get until midway the fourth quarter of starters out there trying to salvage this game. This should be an over.
I'm going to lean under.
Really?
I think I am. I saw Phoenix score 119 against the Kings. They had like 19 points in the final 5 minutes. Like they were on pace for about maybe 110 in that game before things went off the rails. They had 51 points in the first half of that game. Like I'm a bit concerned that Phoenix offensively is not efficient enough. And they don't exactly go up tempo because we know Durant and Booker, they're fine with operating in the half court. New Orleans, I don't think is really automatically interested in running 2. They might, do it if Phoenix does it as well. But I do think you might see a slower pace than we might expect. And New Orleans in the half court has been really good defensively. But the Suns, I get they have Booker. I get they have Durant. I get they have Beal. Their offensive rating this season has really not been great. And I do think that New Orleans defensively can showcase a really underrated unit in this matchup. New Orleans pace-wise, though, is 16th. Phoenix pace-wise is 25th. With paces that slow, I don't want to take a total in the high 230s. I think I'm going to leave the under this game.
It's a little different when you look at the past 5 games. Past 5 games, Phoenix is actually 6th in pace, and New Orleans is down to 22 in pace. But that plays your angle that they'll play slow. Yeah, they're going to play slow. So that helps your under angle of New Orleans controlling the pace at home, able to keep this a lower scoring game. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Player props, anything?
I'm trying to think of what exactly I like for. Well, I'm going to ask which players you actually trust in this game. Let's start there. Are there any players you actually trust? Because New Orleans has a couple of options. They kind of alternate of who's going to have the great game. But as for Phoenix, Durant's been fine, but he's been a bit passive. Booker's been a bit hot and cold. You have any thoughts on this?
I kind of want to back threes today in this one.
Okay.
I talked about how good New Orleans is shooting the ball recently. Phoenix, 27th in opponents' 3-point percentage over the past 5 games, giving up 43% from 3. And I told you, they're giving up 120 points per game. I don't like what they're doing defensively. We talked about them all year, them probably not being a pretty good defensive unit. And Frank Vogel was brought in to try to help boost that defense, and we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it at all. It's actually just been them finding ways to score a majority of the times and how they're getting their wins rather than playing anything defensively. So CJ is tempting at plus 135, just a little inconsistent for me. I would really need volume there. I would play Trey Murphy over 2.5 at minus 135.
Murphy's
that would
my
make
guy,
me feel.
So
yeah. I think I would back Trey Murphy, and I would feel pretty good about Trey Murphy getting going from 3. I think it's Trey Murphy and CJ are the 2 people you would target if you like that angle. But I just don't think they have anybody that can match up with Trey Murphy, and he's just that good of a player, and I think he could be able to get going. So I would back Trey Murphy 3s today. That might be some angle that I'm looking for later tonight.
A part of me is tempted by Grayson Allen 3s. Just looking at his recent numbers, he's had at least 4 threes in 4 of the last 6. He's had 9 threes in 2 of the last 6, which is wild to me. But the point is, numbers at 2.5, and Grayson Allen has been getting a lot of minutes with this team. He's been probably the best role player this entire season. Played 37 minutes against the Kings, 33 minutes against Portland. So the playing time is there. I don't mind Grayson Allen props in this game.
All right. I like it. 3 out of the last 5, Trey Murphy's gone over that prop, by the way, and with 5 and 3s in his last game out against Charlotte. So I do like Hawkins too. Definitely, if Hawkins gets the minutes. I just didn't see him up here yet. But when his lines play and he gets the minutes, yeah, it might be. What's Hawkins? Probably going to be at 1.5, maybe 2.5 at juiced, but probably 1.5. You could probably bring him up. He had 6 that last game too. They just killed Charlotte from 3, honestly. All right. Indiana Pacers. Yeah, Indiana Pacers on the road going to play the Portland Trailblazers. Indiana open up -2, currently -5.5. 238.5 is total injury report for these 2 games, and we had 2 teams. Pascal Siakam is expected to play today. Indiana is playing on a back-to-back, so we'll see about everybody else, but they're expecting Pascal Siakam to play in this game. That's why they didn't play him in the other one. And for the Portland Trailblazers, we have DeAndre Ayton probable, Matisse Thybulle not on the injury report. Shaden Sharp, Moses Brown injured. Let me see here. What am I looking for?
Portland beat the
Nets. I want to see how Indiana does on a back-to-back. That's what I wanted to do. But yeah, Portland did beat the Nets.
I didn't learn anything from that game. The Nets are a terrible team. I've been saying that for a month.
I
didn't learn anything. Yeah, we were, because it was 7.5, which was a crazy line. I'm not going to overreact to the one win, though. Like, Portland was down double digits entering the fourth quarter of that game at home. They came back and they won. First game with Siakam, you can worry about chemistry. Halliburton also might come back. Wait, what did you say?
1-6 ATS is the Indiana Pacers on a back-to-back this season. 1-6.
And they had a very competitive game last night. But Portland's so bad. I'll let you go first on this one. I'm not going to bet this. I think I'm going to lean to Indiana, but I don't really have much of an angle.
Do they figure it out off the rip with Pascal and not Halliburton playing?
Well, is Halliburton coming back? I thought that he was potentially coming back tonight.
Oh, is he coming back tonight?
He's questionable, but it seems like he's getting ready to play.
Okay.
That's what I understood. If he doesn't play, I'm taking Portland. If he does, I'll probably lean to Indiana.
There we go. That's the answer right there. If Halliburton plays, we take Pacers. If not, take Portland. Feel pretty confident about that. However, DeAndre Ayton should have a game today, right?
Well, his driveway finally, finally.
I mean, he's well rested. Did you? I know you didn't see. I know you didn't see his Instagram, but when they said that his driveway was icy, I wanted to see if he posted about it on Instagram, and I looked, and he was in the crib, posted up, chilling, cooling. Yeah. He's well rested, and if you remember, Scott, I mean, I love a good narrative. Who was supposed to trade for DeAndre Ayton?
Well, there were rumors he'd get traded for Miles Turner for about 3 years. So, Indiana.
Go cook him, Ayton. Go cook him today, big fella. Go cook him today.
I want more Dupe Reith minutes. That's cashing all his player props. I want more Dupe Reith minutes.
Oh, man. All right. We're on Indiana, right?
I'm going to lean that way, assuming Halliburton plays. If he doesn't, I don't know. We can't play the drop, though, because once again, we're not officially locking it in. We're waiting to see if Halliburton's going to play. And so we'll see what happens.
All right. All right. I won't play it. It's pretty chalk. Okay. I do like Ayton to have a good day. 238.5 is the total. Anything else on the total player prop?
I kind of like the under in this game. Like Indiana defensively recently, not terrible. And I know that you tend to like overs when it's a back-to-back, but it's for one team, not for both. Portland just has such a hard time scoring. Scored 105 against the Nets, they won. 116 against the Suns, okay. Scored 93 against the Timberwolves, 77 against the Thunder, 84 against the Knicks. Like, I just don't know if this team can score in Indiana. Is not a good defensive team. But ever since Carlisle made the comments about the girlfriend, they've been better defensively. I don't know what the hell he said, but he said something. And apparently the team agreed. So I'm going to lean under in this game. It feels a bit high.
Yeah, that game last night against Sacramento was the first over in 4 games.
That went over?
Yeah. It was 244.5.
Really? Okay.
It closed at 244.5. It says it went over. So
I think when we did the show live, I think it was like 248.5. So I think it actually went under when we did the opening line. I think.
What's this line again?
It's 5.5. Yeah. 238.5.
It's under 240 though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over. I'm not scared. Because DeAndre is gonna have a legacy game. It's gonna be 25 and 12 or something like that.
I can't wait to see the Ayton post-ups for the first 10 minutes, and then he does nothing the rest of the game. It's gonna be great. It's the Aiden
I mean,
special.
Miles Turner don't rebound, so I'm not worried about rebounding because Miles Turner doesn't.
That's
prefer to
true.
rebound.
Yeah.
All right. Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers are now playing on national TV. Lakers are laying 7-227.5 is total injury report here. Mikal Bridges probable, no Whitehead, no Simmons, no Sharp. And for the Lakers, LeBron's questionable. He's going to play. Anthony Davis probable. He's going to play. Cam Reddish out. No Gabe Vincent.
Any party you want the Nets?
Do I need to say anything else?
No. Nets are terrible. What a bad team. So bad.
Why is this on national TV?
Because they really, really wanted LeBron and AD against anybody, and it turns out it was against the Nets. Maybe they scheduled it 3 years ago and they thought Durant was still going to be on the team, but I don't know. No, I don't know why the Nets are on TV. They shouldn't be.
All right, two. I mean, let's give it the due diligence. Is this a spot where everybody gets on the Lakers and they just point?
Maybe, but I've been watching the Nets, so no. I don't think this team's ready to do anything in the immediate future. Bridges has been average at best recently. You said he's probable. I'm assuming he's going to play because he hasn't missed a game in about 7 years. Maybe if you want to make a case for Bridges unders, does he only play one half to keep the streak alive? I don't know. Maybe he only plays one half and he sits the second half. We've seen him do some sketchy things to keep his Iron Man streak alive, but I can't take the Nets. This team's horrible. The Lakers at home have been pretty good. I just think at the end of the day, you're looking at a spot where the Lakers have the size, the Nets have no backup center, and Claxton's screwed anyway, going against AD. They can't stop any type of penetration. LeBron's going to get to the rim. AD's going to get whatever he wants. And I do think that the Nets scoring is a problem because they can't score. So I'm going to lean to the Lakers here. I do like Nets team total under in this game because I don't think this team can score. I'm going to read off the Nets totals recently, and you tell me how you think this team's supposed to score. So the Nets, in their last couple of games, they played against the Trailblazers, really bad defense, scored 103. Played the Heat at home, scored 95 after overtime, scored 102 against Cleveland, had a very high-scoring game against Portland, but the point is the last 3 games, they've been really underwhelming offensively. I just don't think that they're going to get anything done offensively in this game. I'm going to lean to the Lakers to win, to cover. I'll lean to the under, Nets team total under.
So, for the villainy, Lakers 15-7 at home straight up, 11-12 against spread. That's really concerning. But, and I will say, if you would like to back Brooklyn tonight, that's your angle, is the straight up versus ATS split at home for the Lakers. And also the fact that this Lakers team just played the top 2 team in the West at home and got a win. And then they played the Mavericks, who they could never beat, and got the win. So this is a prime letdown spot, getting this Nets team coming at home. I don't know, man. I watched the Portland game. If I didn't watch the Portland game,
you watched that game? Good for you.
If I didn't watch the Portland game, I probably would have took the Nets. And I think that I probably should really fade my gut instinct of just going chalk with the Lakers and take the Nets.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one way the Nets win. They have to get hot from 3. They haven't been able to hit an outside shot for about a week and a half, but they have to be able to hit some outside shots. Nobody on this team can shoot. Like, that's the problem. So I think the Lakers do a good enough job defending the 3 ball. If you do like the Nets, Cam Johnson threes, like there's a couple of guys to target if you do think they're going to keep it close, but this team just can't shoot.
It's but really they haven't been good defensively recently.
Yeah.
Like, and if it like, it's Staples, it's the, it's the Madison Square Garden theory. They might get up for the game. Like the Lakers, I mean, the last 2 games have been good, but 3 before that, 132, 127, 131. I'll just take the Lakers. I'm just gonna take the Lakers. All right. I'll just take the Lakers. I don't. I reluctantly take the Lakers, but because Brooklyn is like horrible.
Yep.
227.5.
I'm going to be on the under. I think it opened at 229.5. Now I think it went down to 226.5, and then it kind of bumped back up to 227.5. But I do think you're looking at a spot where I just don't trust the Nets to score. Like it's really as simple as that. So I'm going to lean under in this game.
YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast to see why I'm laughing.
But it's a good buzzword. That's all I'm saying. It's a good buzzword. But still.
I
I'll lean under.
I guess I'll go under. I really don't.
I like Nets team total.
You know I don't like the Lakers. I don't like the Lakers.
No.
I don't like Lakers. I hate this team.
But the Nets are slow and they can't score. So it's really just a matter of, do I think the Nets can do enough to contribute? I think the Nets team total under is my main lean for the total.
I would much rather take whatever I would play on Brooklyn. Because if I were to play Brooklyn, I would only play them to get a win here. Because that would be like there's no I wouldn't feel +7. Like if they get this game even close, they're probably winning. If it's not, they're gonna get blown out. So but instead of putting a plus money on that, I'd rather just who said it? Somebody said in the chat earlier, I'd rather take Mikal Bridges or Cam Thomas. Like just give me one or the other. I'd rather place that money, that units on them to have a good game against this Lakers defense that again is 24th in the league over the past 5 games. I would much rather take my bets on one of those two rather than play this Brooklyn Nets team. I'm good on the team as a whole. All right, anything else you got?
No, not really. For player props, I mean, you mentioned Bridges and you mentioned Cam Thomas. I don't mind Johnson threes. The volume's been there as well. I think I have to consider Dinwiddie unders. I know he had one good game against Portland. Congratulations. It might be a good sell high spot again. Maybe a dead cat bounce on his points. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Dinwiddie at all. I believe he has the lowest field goal percentage in the entire league. Congratulations, Spencer Dinwiddie. So yeah, I'll go with his unders for points. Let me just see if I could find it available. Dinwiddie points is currently at, I don't see it. So we'll see. But I'm going to like the under for Dinwiddie points.
So he sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
The worst field goal percentage in the league, man. Jordan Poole's in the league. Thanasis is in the league. Come on, man.
Thanasis can't do anything right. You see the picture where they were all putting up the watch like Shador after Dame had hit that
cropped
game
him
winner.
Out of the photo.
and because he was like this.
Yeah.
He was trying to square up in the picture.
By the way, I see Dinwiddie at 11.5 for points.
Thanasis is the funniest person in the league. It's Thanasis, Bruce Brown. Like 2 of the funniest people in the league, for sure.
Were you a fan of the stare down block that Thanasis had when his team was down 30 against the Cavs in the fourth quarter?
And then not getting back on defense and giving up.
Yeah, and then he gave up a dunk anyway on the immediate transition.
He gave up a dunk on that. Yeah. Yes. All right, let's close this out. I've been up here long enough. Lock, dog, underdog. For my lock.
Curious if we're going to go proper with a side or total here.
No, I think I'm going prop, actually.
Okay.
I didn't realize
You're going Jokic.
Probably. Yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%. I'm just going to take the points. Or should I do PRA?
No, don't get cute with it. Take the points. I mean, Wemby at 20 points and basically a half against that defense.
I know. And I had Wemby for 20 and 10 in that game. He finished with, I think it was like 7 or 8. It wasn't 10, but he got the points. He had 27. Yeah. Wemby had 27. Yeah. Jokic over 25.5 minus 140. It's a little juiced. A tad bit juiced.
I mean, you could bump it up if you want. You can take 26.5 if you want to actually
still
do
feel
it
good
that way.
about that. And no, I don't got to because I'm laddering it. So
okay,
I'm taking the 30 at plus 155 on DraftKings. I'm taking the 35 at plus 390 as well. So it's all right. I really don't. I mean, who's going to stop him? Porzingis? Nah. Al Horford? No way.
I'll put my dog.
For my dog.
I'm trying to think. Do we really like many sides for the dog? Do you want like DeJounte?
I mean, I'm debating between actually taking Atlanta at plus 285 or just taking the Spurs at plus 154.
Do you want to merge DeJounte assists with the Hawks? Or DeJounte something with the Hawks? You can do a same-game parlay on that. I mean, if they're going to win the game, that means DeJounte is going to have a big game.
Yeah, more than likely. But I'll just go with my first instinct. Just give me the Spurs. Charlotte sucks. Devin Vassell is enough for me. I'll take Spurs plus 154.
Okay. So for my lock, I think I actually am going to go back to the first game that we talked about. I mentioned a prop in passing, but I actually dug into it a bit more after I mentioned it. The Embiid assist total is way too high in this game. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take Embiid under 5.5 assists. I see plus 102. So I'm actually going to go with a plus money play here. But he's actually gone under this number in 10 of his last 11 games against Orlando. Orlando's been very good at stopping him from getting assists, and Orlando's allowing the fewest assists per game in the entire league. Now, we both think Embiid can maybe go for 40, maybe 50 against Patazzi. But it does seem like Orlando is willing to let him get his. They'll limit the assists, and I do think that, once again, when you've gone under in 10 of 11, it's not as insane as the Kevon Looney rebound prop against the Suns, which is like my all-time favorite prop. But if you go under this number in 10 of 11, I can get plus money. I'm going to take it. So for me, give me Embiid under the 5.5 assists here at plus 104. Didn't mention, by the way, he has gone under in 2 of the last 3. And I know that he had 10 against Denver, but I do think this number is a bit high. So I'm going to go with the under on that. For my dog, I got a couple options. I'm trying to think of which one I want to go to. I mean, I am kind of tempted by Jokic as well for the points, but I don't know if I want to take it as my official dog if I go for 30 plus. I think for this one, I'm going to... You know what? I think I am going to go with your guy. I'm going to go with Vassell. Give me a good Vassell game here. Let me just see what I can find for a prop on him. Let me just see what I can get. Vassell's already at 19.5, which is kind of annoying. So I'm wondering if I want to go with 25.
No, that you're getting your buy low spot there. That's a buy low spot. You're good.
I think it's a buy low spot too, but I have to go for an alt if I'm going to end up taking the...
Yeah,
I could always parlays with 3s, I guess, if I wanted to do 25. It that way. Yeah, 25? Okay.
Yeah, take 25.
Let me just see.
Plus 235.
Sure.
Devin Vassell for 25 plus 235.
Sure. I'll go plus 235. I'll take your guy.
Yeah. I like it. Love it. It's my guy. It's really like the only time I don't bet Devin Vassell is if I'm probably busy and forgot to get to it. But like, there's never a point where I don't.
He had 21 against Boston, and he went 0 for 5 from 3, and now you have Wemby not playing. So the fact that he had 21 in the last game,
was a bad game.
I think he's back on track. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Underdog. Jokic.
Yeah. Jokic points.
How do we play?
Vassell?
We just playing the points?
Yeah, we'll do the points. I mean, you're going to ladder it, so why would we not take it in the entry?
Because I kind of wanted to spread my you
want to spread
my usage. I wanted to spread my it's pure selfishness on my behalf because I wanted to spread my usage on Jokic and bet triple double somewhere. It's okay. We'll go with points. I'll do it on my own time.
I'm assuming you're on Vassell because
26.5 for Jokic. Yep. I can always bet Devin Vassell. Always. Yep. Never a point where I don't think he's gonna have a good game, which is probably not that good. Oh, Underdog got an update. This is cool. Now they show you the pictures when you. Oh man, I wish the Cowboys were still
Brandon
here,
Aubrey,
man.
Just to see if Aubrey exists. Yeah,
bro. Yeah, because they updated, and so now when you hit, when you're making your lineup, it shows the pictures instead of just a circle, like a green circle. It shows the pictures of the players. So
nice.
I wonder if Aubrey has a picture now. Darn, stupid trash Cowboys. All right, we need one more. Embiid?
Sure. I mean,
you want to take points? It? I was with you on the assists, but we can do the points.
What's the assist at? Is it 5.5 or is it 6?
It's at 5.5.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, we'll do it. Lower for Embiid.
Cool.
So we have Nikola Jokic, higher, 26.5 points. We have Joel Embiid, lower, 5.5 assists. And we have Devin Vassell, higher, 19.5 points. Put that in the Underdog and shake it all up, and you're going to get 6-1, 6 times your payout. That is $100 turns into $600. Unless you go there and shirt route. But we never do that. Come on. So 6-1, 50 gets you 300. You know the math there. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN. No, we have a new promo code. We do. We have our own promo code. Make sure you use our promo code, which is what's our promo code? Where's Moonoff's chat? Moonoff sent it to us, right? Where did Moonoff send us the
His
promo
text
code?
message.
It was
Wasn't
a
it
text
just
message?
like the most basic? It's NBA.
Yeah, it's NBA SGPN. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. NBA SGPN. Make sure you use that promo code. All new users can get a first deposit match up to 100%, up to $100. NBA SGPN. Make sure you use that so we get the credit because, again, we're trying to show the other shows up. All right. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No. Once again, I'll be doing some tennis episodes over the weekend, but that's basically it.
All right. Other than that, I have. Well, make sure the 75 people like the video on the way out on YouTube. Make sure everybody else that's listening via podcast goes out there and gets themselves a 5-star rating and review. Make sure you go get yourself some merch. 15% off. Promo code playoffs. store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. We're just going to do it like this. We are out of here.